we're small, but we're mighty and passionate. I think to be, the number one quality to be a Legion member is to have passion. Because we have passion and we have love and we are committed. So I would like to invite Nancy Freeman, who is the director of Women in Leadership Archives for Loyola, and give her a little talk about our organization.
Hello, and do I have to lean over? I might. Okay. Hello, and thank you, Mary. It is so good to welcome you all here to Loyola on this beautiful fall day. A little bit crisp, but very nice. And you may know that so many of you were coming to the event that we had to move it from Piper Hall here to the Information Commons, which is a lovely, lovely space. So I hope that it wasn't too hard for you to find where it is, and I hope you enjoy your time here. What I'd like to do is talk just a little bit about the Women in Leadership Archives, the WLA, and then talk about how the Legion's records fit into that. The Women in Leadership Archives is part of the Gannon Center for Women in Leadership here and the University Library System. As an archives, we collect, preserve, and make available records of enduring value. And that means that we bring in records of individuals and organizations that document women's lives, roles, and contributions. Our subject areas include activism and women's issues, authors, women religious, education, the records of Mundelein College, public service, social justice, and fine, performing, and visual arts. Geographically, we tend to focus on Chicago, or the larger Chicago area, and Illinois, then the Midwest, more of the Great Lakes Midwest, and then we sometimes take collections from other parts of the United States. The WLA makes records available by organizing them so that researchers, such as scholars, students, and honestly just about anyone, can come and use our records. We provide what we call remote and in-person reference services, which means we answer questions about our records. We also do historical programs and partner on events like this. In addition, we have quite a website that has a lot of our records on there, and Laura's going to talk about some that pertain to the Legion, and you can find out a lot of information and some online exhibits there. Now on to the Legion of Young Polish Women and how that fits with the WLA. Mary and Selma first contacted me about a year ago, and I confess I had not heard of the Legion, a large part, I believe, because I'm relatively new to this area. Once I heard about the history, and once I looked at the website, I knew that the records were not only appropriate for the WLA, but would be a wonderful addition. To donate records to us, there is a process, and there is paperwork to sign, and I know on the Legion's end, the board had to approve that. All this happened by April, and the Legion's records were legally the property of the Women in Leadership Archives here at Loyola. The Legion documents a strong, vibrant Polish-American women's organization that has a fascinating history and has done so much to impact the Polish-American community here in Chicago, the U.S., and even internationally. Given the Legion's strong social and philanthropic history, I knew that the records would be extremely valuable to us. Recently, someone asked me what it felt like to stand on the shoulders of history, meaning to work with and come in contact with the WLA records of women's organizations and individual women. And I'd never thought of my work like that before, but two things came to my mind. First, enthusiasm, and second, responsibility. I feel a strong enthusiasm for records such as the Legion's because they are a wonderful documentation of history. I feel responsibility because I want the records to be used. I don't just want to take the records in boxes and organize them and have no one see them. I want to spread the word about the Legion and its history. And that leads me to talk just very briefly about how we make the records available using the Legion as an example. Already, and we've had the records roughly about 6 months, we have had a Polish history professor on a Fulbright scholarship come and do pretty in-depth research into the records. Of course, I hope that is only the beginning. As you all know, Loyola has a Polish Studies minor, and many universities do also, and more than that, and so that we're hoping lots of scholars will come. We also hope that students here and at other places will use our records. The last and the most recent thing involves the records of the Legion, is that the Legion generously funded in part a project, and the other part was funded by the Loyola libraries, to organize the records and create an online exhibit. And Laura Pierce, a graduate assistant at